Hello guys, welcome back to Angry Bird video game series tutorial in Unity. In this video, we are going to see how to launch the ball after taking the user input. So let's begin. Let's open the code, go to assets and click on open C# project. So for launching the Angry Bird, we are going to create a separate method over here. Instead, we can do everything right over here in the update method, but to make the code less complex and cluttered, we are making a separate method right down over here. So let's make it private void launch Angry Bird, and we have to call this method when we are not touching our screen and when we are dragging the object. So for that purpose, we are going to create a variable over here called as private bool. Bool is boolean which contains two values, either true or false. So we'll name the variable as is dragging. So as I said, we have to call this. So as I said, we have to call launch Angry Bird method when we are not pressing the screen and when we are dragging. So right over here, inside not, we'll see if we are dragging. So is dragging, and if we are, that is true, then we simply have to call launch Angry Bird method. So this statement we actually have to do in launch Angry Bird. So we'll just cut and paste it down over here. So as of now, we are not setting is dragging anywhere as true or false. So when we are getting the touch input, that means we are dragging. So we'll set is dragging is equal to true. And when we are not, so we'll set is dragging is equal to false. So right over here in launch Angry Bird, what we have to do is after setting is kinematic is equal to false, we have to nullify it. So current Angry Bird rigid body is equal to null. So right over here, we'll start getting errors because we're accessing current Angry Bird rigid body many times in our update. So first thing we will do is we'll check if current Angry Bird rigid body is equal to null, then we'll simply return it. Let's go down. Once we are done with this, we also have to disable our spring joint. So for that, we'll create a serialize field, private spring joint 2D. We'll name it as current Angry Bird spring joint. In the launch Angry Bird method, we'll set this current spring joint dot enabled is equal to false, and also nullify it is equal to null. So let's save the script and go back to editor and see what happens. Firstly, we'll reposition our Angry Bird. Let's go back to scene. Let's move the pivot a little bit down over here, and we'll copy the position and paste into the Angry Bird. Let's see on the simulator. Let's play the game. As you can see, we are able to move our Angry Bird, and let's leave it. Oh, so I have forgot to assign the spring joint. Let's stop the game. Go back to Angry Bird handler. Drag and drop the Angry Bird over here so it will access the spring joint component on it. Save it and let's play. Okay, so I'm moving the Angry Bird and let's see what happens when I leave it. So it instantly fall down. Let's stop the game. So why it happens is because, so at the very current frame, we are setting the spring joint as false. There is no delay between it. So for that purpose, we'll create another method as private void detach detach Angry Bird, and we'll copy paste these two lines down there. Now we have to call this method after a delay. Over here I'll go to top and create another serialized field as private detach private float detach delay. Let's come back down. I'll use a method over here that is invoke. So what invoke function does is it calls a specific method after a short delay. It takes two arguments. The first one is a function to be called, that is we'll use name of property, name of, and we'll copy the function name, paste it over here, and then we have to give the delay, that is detach delay. So let's go back to editor. Over here on the Angry Bird handler, we can see the delay that is in seconds. So I'll just give it 0.2. Let's save it and play. So as you can see, I'm moving our Angry Bird, and after leaving this, after 0.2 seconds, it will get detached. So I think we have to reduce the time. So I'll set it at 0.15. Let's save the game and play. So I'm moving it now and let's leave it. Something is happening over here. Let's go to pivot. Okay, so there is a box collider right over here on the pivot, which we no longer need. So let's remove the component, save the game and play it. Let's drag and launch the ball. So you can see our Angry Bird is getting launched and it is knocking the tower. So that's it for this lecture. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.